In the beginning of the episode, when Pomni spawns in the circus and bumps into everyone, Gangle Mask breaks on the floor because the sad mask is underneath the happy mask. Obviously, this means that Gangle starts crying over her mask and rubs it in her face in an attempt to be the most cruel. What would happen if Jax was in charge of the circus? He already knows his way around the circus better than anyone else, but what if he had the exact same powers as Cain with no one to stop him? Hello everyone, my dear viewers. Today we are going to talk about exactly that. Subscribe to my channel and I will be very grateful to you. Let's get started. They discover that Kaufmo is a large abstracted monster, but he still goes by the nickname Kaufmo, which was likely Kaufmo's previous moniker when he wasn't abstracted and Jax used to bully Kaufmo. Despite the fact that Kaufmo is abstracted, he still feels the need to call him Kaufmo. He wasn't shocked or astonished to learn that Kaufmo is actually a huge abstracted monster, but he's just Kaufmo. He also placed a centipede in Ragatha's room despite. Her greatest fear stems from the fact that Ragatha is terrified of centipedes, so this is her biggest fear. After Kaufmo goes on her tangent, Jax takes out a key and claims to have keys to every room. Additionally, since Jax revealed that he had keys to every room, it's possible that he locked Kaufmo inside his own room in order to keep him abstract. Some people think that once Kaufmo started talking about the exit door, Jax took Kaufmo's key and locked him inside his room, which is why Kaufmo wrote all over the walls and painted a lot since he had nothing else to do. Eventually, when he abstracted, it was too late, but whether or not Jax did it, it only proves that Jax is cruel. When they do find Kaufmo, regardless of whether he abstracted him, they open the door and Jax jumps when he sees that Kaufmo has turned into a monster. However, as soon as he has the chance, he just bolts. He flees as quickly as possible, leaving Pomni and Ragatha for dead, which all the circus members know about. The idea is that touching an abstraction causes a glitch that causes excruciating pain and eventually leads to abstraction. In this case, Jax is simply fleeing. He knew that Ragatha and Pomni were going to die, so he could have picked them up and run away. Having super speed would have made it unfavorable for him to run with all three of them, but instead he chose to save himself. However, there is a theoretical possibility that Jax could be kind. As he revealed that part of himself, we also know that he is brutally honest because, upon joining the circus, Pomni is unsure of her location and purpose, and everyone tries to reassure her by saying things like, "Oh, this is your new home, please be nice." Jax is brutally honest with her, telling her that she is locked there forever and that even the other circus members are angry with him. Despite leaving Pomni and Ragatha for dead, Jax's ruthless honesty at least demonstrates some character. He grabs the bowling ball he took from Kaufmo's room and throws it at Kinger and Gangle when he hears them racing around the circus again. This causes them to fall down the glink hole and save themselves from Kaufmo, which is strange because he wouldn't leave Pomni and Ragatha for dead. However, he protects Kinger and Gangle at the first sound of Kaufmo, which suggests that he may be favoritism or that our knowledge of this scenario is limited. You may recall that I previously mentioned that he placed a centipede in Ragatha's room. This might have been a fabrication to divert Ragatha's attention because she had just concluded an irrational digression, in which she claimed that there was no purpose to existence. The circus was a jail, and you would eventually abstract as if that were a given, despite the fact that what Jax stated could be interpreted as malicious. He was actually assisting Ragi in improving her mental state when he says that he put a centipede in her room right away. Guess what happens? She becomes extremely upset with Jax instead of being wild about the circus. In addition, when Pomni joined the circus, he wasn't just brutally honest with her. He also wanted to help her process what he had just told her. He asked Cain to start an adventure right away so that Pomni could get her mind off of being imprisoned. After all, if you're always thinking about how stuck you are and that you can't escape, you're going to end up like Kaufmo and Abstract. However, since they started an adventure, Pomni wasn't actually preoccupied with the being imprisoned instead. She became distracted. However, Jax still had some good intentions there, and hopefully after their adventure at the end of the show, Jax tries it once more to prevent Pomni from going crazy. Jax tells them to enjoy their feast reward because he's hungry, But Kinger quickly corrects him, acting like a geek emoji, by pointing out that they can only experience the virtual sense of eating, which is truly only pleasure rather than genuine nourishment. Since we know that you abstract from loneliness, Jax's desire to keep Pomni from being alone actually saved her after the entire adventure. Zooble was upset with Pomni because she wasn't even present for the adventure, despite the fact that it was made specifically for her, because Kane had earlier stated that to get her used to the circus, Axe knew that this would frighten Pomni and possibly abstract her if she knew she was in a fake world. They were going on an adventure, and when Jax heard Zooble become enraged, he said to be quiet because he couldn't hear the escalator. It was one of the most disrespectful things I've ever heard, and when I first watched this, my jaw dropped. However, what this did was transfer Pomni anger to Jax because it was Pomni's first day, and Jax can handle it because that's the kind of person he is. Gooseworx did confirm on Tumblr that Jax is truly evil. Gooseworx responded to her question about whether Jax could be secretly nice despite his seemingly evil actions, saying that Jax has no redeemable qualities and that all these nice things are just coincidences. This makes me think that Jax would be a cruel ringleader for the circus. We know that Kane is somewhat normal because he is an AI and can't feel certain emotions, but Jax is fully human and can feel all emotions, and he chooses to be cruel anyway. Would be much more difficult, or he would turn everyone who joined the circus into an abstraction. You might be wondering how he could even accomplish that if the ringleader doesn't have mental control. And the answer is that, while it's true in some ways, he can still present information to people in a way that causes them to think differently. For instance, if we recall that Kaufmo abstracted after seeing the exit door, Jax could easily do the same thing to everyone else, and every new recruit to the circus, as we know from Kaufmo Mod's painting of the exact symbol we see on the exit door. Therefore, if Jax were to be cruel but astute in his torture of the circus members, he would tell them that they are unable to escape their sense of purposeless imprisonment, and just when they feel hopeless, he will give them false hope by showing them the exit door. At that point, the circus members will feel happy until they realize that Jax has put them through a labyrinth. Jax could easily get every character to abstract if he leaves them alone in their rooms for a long enough period of time, as Kaufmo did before abstracting. But it might not be possible with Kinger because we already know that Kinger is insane, which should be a sign that he will abstract. In my opinion, though, it's actually the opposite if Kinger is insane and hasn't abstracted yet. That leads them to nowhere, and all the circus members' souls are crushed from disappointment. That's all, my dear friends. Write in the comments how you like this video. Good luck to everyone, and bye-bye.